Good evening. Let me know that you can hear the sound okay. I was just trying to set up some of these windows, and behind the fireplace that you see there is a map of the Middle East where this conflict is going on right now. And we are at war. We are. Welcome to the Bear Cave on this Monday night. It's March 2nd and it's 10:15. Welcome to all of you, to my moderators, both Baby Juju and Vicky Black. I see you. And some of you that are out in the bushes. So I'm going to do my best. We're just going to talk about some things tonight. I'm going to start off, talking about the updates, what's going on. And you can email me right now at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. Yeah. Thanks for joining me tonight. Let's just deal with the serious stuff first. Yeah. So to get you oriented, let's see if I can remove the fireplace. Hang on for a second. Because sometimes I don't always know, like if I take something down, like I just did, what will appear. Yeah. And so that's Iran. All right, it's actually Iran. I say Iran sometimes, or most of the time, and then I hear it's Iran. I don't know. I've heard it pronounced both ways. All right, so Tehran is the capital of Iran. All right, and there in the Persian Gulf, then you have Iraq, Saudi Arabia there, and Jordan. You have Israel up to west. You can see Iran there, so west, and just there on the it's the Mediterranean Sea, all right, that you can see out there in Cyprus and Lebanon and Jordan, and then you have the Dubai and UAE and Bahrain. All right. So that you can see the map. But there's Another one that I think will zoom in a little better, if I can bring it up. It's from CNN. That one. So that gives you a better close up there. And so in the red, those are US Israeli strikes in Iran. And then the blue is Iranian retaliatory strikes. So you can see that all around. And countries targeted by Iran are there. Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Oman. So all of those and of course, Israel, you can barely see it there off to the left, but you can see the name there on the map. And along all of these areas, like where the water is there in the straits and our U.S. air, U.S. military bases, I should say. All right. So let's find out what the latest is. And I did see the press conference this morning. I watched some of that. And so let me just hang on. I've got a couple of papers. I have Associated Press and I have CNN. So Trump says the Iran war could last weeks and that U.S. citizens in more than a dozen countries are urged to leave while there has been an exchange of missiles battering Iran and the wider region. Since the U.S. and Israel began a joint attack on Iran, Iran has attacked U.S. military bases and cities across the Middle East. So let's see, there's Trump tells CNN big wave yet to come in war with Iran. Let's go back here. Can visualize, some of the destruction, but I wanted to keep it there. If it'll stay. Or if I don't, I can just keep up the other map. All right. So, Donald Trump said it would likely take several weeks, and Tehran and his allies hit back against Gulf states and targets critical to the world's energy production. So, did you notice the price of gas? In some places in Europe, for example, it's up 50%. The intensity of the attacks, the killing of Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and the lack of any apparent exit plan set the stage for a prolonged conflict with far reaching consequences. I want to go to CNN and happening now. Hang on. Just trying to pull up. So the president said that the military operation is projected to last 4 to 5 weeks, but it could take longer. It could go longer. This was updated as of 10:19 Eastern, so it was just updated. And the U.S. warning. The U.S. State Department urged U.S. citizens to depart immediately from countries throughout the Middle East due to serious safety risk. The embassy struck. The U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, was hit by two suspected Iranian drones, sources told CNN, and there were no initial reports of injuries, according to one of the sources. In Beirut, the Israeli military said it is striking Hezbollah command centers and weapon storage facilities in the Lebanese capital. It follows Hezbollah firing missiles and drones at a military base in Israel in revenge for the killing of Iran's supreme leader. Trump on Iran, President Trump told CNN Jake Tapper, the big wave is yet to come. Separately, U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, said 6 service members died in an Iranian attack on U.S. troops in Kuwait on Sunday. So, since the 3 had initially passed, then the others have succumbed from their injuries. So, 19 minutes ago, there were peaceful protests across the United States denouncing military operations against Iran. And I've watched some of the news coverage today, and people have been marching past the Trump Tower there in New York during a protest against the war in Iran on Monday. And across the United States, thousands of people have gathered peacefully to denounce and protest the U.S. military operation in Iran. And I should also include Israeli. So it's U.S. Israeli military operation. Bostonians, for example, took to the street amid low temperatures. One protester speaking to the crowd expressed his opposition for these endless, stupid, immoral, dangerous wars. That was said according to CNN affiliate WCVB. In New York City, a crowd of demonstrators gathered in Manhattan for a short rally before peacefully marching through the city streets while chanting "Hands off Iran now," while holding banners and posters. I'm going to see if I can pull any of that news conference or briefing this morning from the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. I don't want to play all of it, maybe just a little bit of it.
Remain postured, protected, and ready to respond.
Hang on, I just want to move it through. You know what I can do is just, I'll play the part where they were taking questions. Let's see if I can turn that up. From the press this morning.
Hyper-focused on. The brief we got just this morning, Admiral Cooper knows exactly and precisely what kind of threat matrix he's looking at, the way they might change their techniques and how we adapt to that. So we're making sure the theater commander has absolutely everything he needs. I mean, one of the things the Chairman mentioned is for months and months, even before we built up, we ensured that we had maximum defensive capabilities in theater to allow the president the decision space in the future. So even before this buildup in the last 30 days, we discreetly brought defensive assets in to make sure, understanding that there are Iranian capabilities. As far as time frame, I would never hang a time frame from our perspective. The commander-in-chief sets the op tempo and terms of this fight. As I said, it's on his terms. And we'll make sure that Admiral Cooper and his team have everything they need, not just to defend. I mean, the best defense is good offense. And so we're aggressively pushing into that airspace over that southern flank to ensure that we control it and we destroy anything that moves that would attempt to shoot us. Think of it as shooting the archer instead of the arrows. That's where we want to be. And we have the kind of exquisite intelligence to get over the top, find that and destroy it. It won't happen overnight. This is a big battle space with a lot of capabilities. That's part of the reason why it's such a threat to us. That's why I talk about conventional umbrella to blackmail nuclear ambitions. They were building up this conventional arsenal in order to ensure that no one would ever block them from their ability to get nuclear weapons. So we're very clear-eyed about the nature of this Iranian threat, and we're going to get after it. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for the question. The only thing I'll add is that unlike an operation, a single operation like Midnight Hammer or Absolute Resolve, it'll take some time for us to conduct battle damage assessment, and the targeting cycle that CENTCOM will run will take those things into effect. Admiral Cooper will adjust his plan and fires accordingly to ensure that we're attriting that. He's focused on long-range strike capability coming out of the enemy, and that's a key and essential part of it.
Capabilities that still exist from the enemy front.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say we're still doing BDA. Normally we'd be able to see a singular thing and we'd assess pretty quickly. He's doing offense and assessment simultaneously, so it'll take longer for us to assess than it would in a single operation.
Secretary Hegseth, thank you. Reagan Reese with the Daily Caller. 2 questions for you. The president said yesterday in his video message that we will leave Iran when we complete all of our objectives. What are our objectives? And can you share more information on how the soldiers who were killed were killed?
Well, I laid out the objectives, as did the chairman. They're completely nested. I mean, Iran has an ability to project power against us and our allies in ways that we can't tolerate. So whether that's ballistic missiles and drones, so offensive capabilities, effectively their Navy, which would attempt to set other terms and impose different costs, drone capabilities, which we laid out there. And ultimately, though, this tying it back to Midnight Hammer, the president has been willing to make a deal. You can't have a nuclear bomb. Radical Islamists can't have a nuclear bomb that they wield against the world. He gave them every single opportunity. Then we precisely took it away. And even then, after that, they didn't have that. They didn't come to the table with a willingness to give it away. So ultimately, those nuclear ambitions, which never ceased, are something that had to be addressed as well. So that's a discrete sense of what's being addressed here to ensure that they can't use that conventional umbrella to continue a pursuit of nuclear ambitions. And then as it pertains to the U.S. casualties, that particular incident was, you have air defenses and the lot's coming in and you hit most of it. And we absolutely do. We have incredible air defenders. Every once in a while, you might have one, unfortunately, we call it a squirter that makes its way through. And in that particular case, it happened to hit a tactical operations center that was fortified, but these are powerful weapons. So we certainly will do, as I said, moments like that, as we remember them and we take care of them and take care of their families, only stiffen our resolve to ensure that we do this properly.
Thank you.
Yep. Right here.
Thank you, Secretary Hegseth. I had 2 questions for you. First, are there currently any American boots on the ground in Iran?
No, but we're not going to go into the exercise of what we will or will not do. I think it's one of those fallacies for a long time that this department or presidents or others should tell the American people this, and our enemies, by the way, here's exactly what we'll do.
I had to pause there and open up my mic because what the press is saying on the questions is they're trying to establish, what the plan and what the secretary is telling them. In other words, We're not going to telegraph to the world, to the press, how we are moving. Listen closely to what he had to say right here. Let me see if I can go back to it. Go back to that question.
Not do. I think it's one of those fallacies.
Right here.
First, are there currently any American boots on the ground in Iran?
No, but we're not going to go into the exercise of what we will or will not do. I think it's one of those fallacies for a long time that this department or presidents or others should tell the American people this, and our enemies, by the way, here's exactly what we'll do. Here's exactly how long we'll go. Here's exactly how far we'll go. Here's what we're willing to do and not do. It's foolishness. And so President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years. We've proven that you can achieve objectives that advance American interests without being foolish about it. Now, will we be bold about it? Are we willing to be decisive about it? Do we put months and months of planning into what kind of effects we want to achieve? Absolutely. But going forward, why in the world would we tell you, the enemy, anybody, what we will or will not do in pursuit of an objective? We fight to win. We fight to achieve the objectives the President of the United States has laid out, and we will do so unapologetically. Thank
Is there
you.
any significance to Israel carrying out this strike to kill the Ayatollah? And I wanted to know, what was your immediate reaction to finding out about his killing?
I think Israel did a great job in the conduct of that operation.
President Trump put a 4-week timeline
right
on it.
here,
Are you
please.
saying that's wrong?
Yeah, thank you. You mentioned during the briefing, General Kane, that there would be additional troops sent to the region. Could you say how many troops currently are involved in this operation and how many additional troops are planned to go in this next phase?
I don't want to talk specifics because that would tip the enemy off. We have more tactical aviation flowing into theater just based on the time it took to get it out there. I think we're just about where we want to be in terms of total combat capacity and total combat power for Admiral Cooper. One of the things, though, that a commander, he'll consistently assess the trajectory of the campaign. Is he on or off trajectory? And then make an ask of the joint force, which will then develop options for consideration by the secretary and the president to either increase or in some cases decrease the amount of combat capability that we have over there.
I heard the question about 4 weeks. It's the typical NBC sort of gotcha type question. President Trump has all the latitude in the world to talk about how long it may or may not take. 4 weeks, 2 weeks, 6 weeks. It could move up. It could move back. We're going to execute at his command the objectives we've set out to achieve. And what he has shown an ability to do that other presidents can't quite seem to have the aperture to do. Well, I mean, Joe Biden didn't even know what he was doing. Is to look for opportunities and off-ramps and escalations for the United States that creates new opportunities to execute what we need on our own timeline. So you can play games about 4 weeks, 5 weeks. He has all the latitude, and I'm glad he does, because there's no better communicator than our president expressing those things.
The Daily Mail.
I've been in meetings with the president for the last 2.5 days. We know exactly where his headspace is, and he will communicate as he should exactly what he would like, and we will follow those orders. And I think everything he said on that is right down the middle.
Chairman, did you have
Absolutely.
evidence
Yes, right
of
there. Yes, sir.
strike first?
Thank you very much, Secretary. I left my hometown of Sakis in Iranian Kurdistan in 1996. Can you promise that I will be able to return home safely this year? And I have a following question too, please.
I appreciate the question.
Again, I wanted to pause on that question. So he asked if there are going to be any guarantees. He said he left his home and he wants to know, after all of this, is he going to be able to go back, to his home, and what will it be like? So listen up to how the Secretary, Pete Hegseth, answered this question. See if I can go back here again.
Return home safely this year, and I have a following question too.
And we will follow those orders. And I think everything he said on that is right down the middle. Absolutely. Yes, right there. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Secretary. I left my hometown of Sakis in Iranian Kurdistan in 1996. Can you promise that I will be able to return home safely this year? And I have a following question too, please.
I appreciate the question. I'm not here to place guarantees on that, but I think the message the president has given has been clear to the people of Iran. This is your moment. The world was seized by these crowds and then seized by the reality of this regime killing tens of thousands of innocent protesters. So we saw the nature of the regime yet again exposed. We saw many of the Iranian people seek a change there. This is their moment to take advantage of it, for sure.
You said.
So he's saying, this is your moment to take advantage of it. So is this going to destabilize? They're saying, to the people, this is your moment. This is your chance. It's been 47 years. What's going to happen? There's no guarantee, right? Who's going to support the rebuild?
In Iraq, and know that no American soldiers were killed in Kurdistan. The Kurdish people are very pro-American. Will you continue protect Kurdistan and Peshmerga as loyal ally of the United States? Why I'm asking this question? Because now Kurdistan is under attack by Iranian drones and by proxies in Iraq and on the region.
I think I can speak to allies generally in the region who we've been in constant communication with. We have been standing shoulder to shoulder with them, and we appreciate their capabilities. Absolutely. Yes, right here.
Hi, thank you. Cameron Arkin with the Daily Wire. My question is about some of the domestic threats, if any, regarding this right now. Have there been any concerns about Iranian sleeper cells, and kind of what has the Trump administration been doing?
That's a real important question.
Across the interagency, in full coordination. Of course, we're paying attention to any potentialities there. This is a former regime, that seeks to export that ideology, try to sow terror. We're ready for that. We've seen these types of folks before, and the American people can rest assured that we're vigilant on that.
Right Secretary, thank you. Kind of a follow up on that last question. There was just this what appears to be a terrorist attack in Austin yesterday. How does that change the operation at all? What effect does that have?
It doesn't change the operation at all, and I know the authorities are executing exactly the way they should.
Secretary Higseth, and one for Chairman Kane as well. I understand, to your point here, that you don't want to broadcast everything for our adversaries to hear, but the American people also want to know what they're sending their men and women to war for. Is there a concern of this spiraling into a longer war? And then one for the chairman when you're done.
Did you not hear my remarks? I mean, we're ensuring the mission gets accomplished, but we are very clear-eyed, as the president has been, unlike other presidents, about the foolish policies of the past that recklessly pulled us in to things that were not tethered to actual clear objectives. So we know we have plans, we have generals, we have chairmen, we have commanders, CENTCOM commanders, Admiral Cooper, who's executing very deliberately to ensure outcomes that I laid out are accomplished. But we would never, in front of a press pool, lay out how long that may take. The mission for our warfighters, which is what matters to us, is very, very clear. And they're executing it right now violently.
For the chairman, quickly, I have one for the chairman. You said this is not a one-night operation. It will take time to achieve the goals. What would be the goal line here for you?
I think the Secretary laid out the military objectives, and that's what we execute against is the military objectives.
Last one right here.
Uranium is.
Thank you, sir. As you've said, there are a large amount of U.S. service members that are in harm's way right now. What is your prayer for them?
First of all, my prayer for them is that I do pray for them. My wife prays for them. Our family prays for them. Our cabinet prays for them.
Prayer for them.
None of this is done on a whim. Having been in their boots, having been in their shoes, having been in their flight suits, I know we think about them with every decision that we make and every recommendation that we make to the President of the United States. Those recommendations are made prayerfully. And when I pray every day for them and for this mission, I pray simply for the biblical wisdom to see what is right and the courage to do it. It's going to take courage to follow through on this. There's going to be a lot of noise, and we pray for that, and we hope all of you do as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
It was a very interesting news conference, although I don't know if there were really any surprises. They said, some things, but are there any surprises in what he said? Either one of them? I don't think so. I think, like I said last night, and even what the president is indicating right now, there's a lot more to come. And be prepared for loss of life, and that includes Americans who are going to be sacrificing, their lives for this country, because we are at war and we don't know how long it's going to go, and we don't know the overall impact it's going to have to that region and how rapidly it's going to spread, and it's already spreading. So I just wanted to touch on it a little bit tonight. And as I dig deeper and study it more, then I will bring the latest to you, along with maybe more in depth of the generals, our military, the war machines, all of that, because there's a lot that I could talk about. So, how is everyone tonight? It is just about 11:15. Actually, it's 10:46, and I plan to be on until 11 o'clock tonight, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. What are your thoughts on this and preparing yourself for maybe the eventuality that is going to go, it's going to last a lot longer, maybe than 4 weeks. We don't know. The secretary there said it's a range. They're not going to say, is it going to be 2 weeks? Is it going to be 4 weeks? It's going to be whatever it takes. So we should be prepared, and we just hope and pray that the outcome that they're looking for, that they achieve it. That they achieve it. Yeah. And I hope that as Americans, and they're already saying, to get out of that area, that we aren't put into harm's way here in this country. Yeah. I see Love 777 says, I hope there won't be boots on the ground. That question was asked. He didn't say exactly what boots on the ground. Yes, is our military there? Are we, strikes? Yes, with drones and missiles and that, but boots on the ground, man to man, combat. That's very different. That's very different. So, yeah, you hope. Boots on the ground. We don't know. Maybe the mission can be accomplished without that. Yeah. Mhm. Maybe the mission can be accomplished. As a matter of fact, who asked me last night? I think that was, I can't think of her name, but she asked me about the name Epic Fury. And I thought about it a little bit more. The operation, devastating. That's what they're saying. Decisive. Epic Fury. That's what they're calling it. What is fury, right? Epic. Like nothing you've seen before? Or like something that hasn't been seen in a very long time. Yeah. So it's going to be devastating. That's what they say. It's already devastating. In case you don't know the numbers, over 600 men and women in that area, region, Iranians and neighboring, have been killed already. And there was this school, girls' school, and over 100 children lost their lives on the first day. Yeah. See if there are any other. All the lives lost. All the lives lost. And more will be lost. They're already preparing us. Mm-hmm. I saw Melania, First Lady Melania Trump today. She was at the United Nations, and she was the guest and running that particular session. So that was pretty historic, but it was covering children and education and that. But to see her sitting at the United Nations, wow. And of course, President Trump, he can appoint that. Yeah. So she represented today, as the moderator. That's what I'll say. Yeah. So she moderated the session today. Yeah. Melania. You think she's a spy? Then she's a spy. If she's a spy, she's been one for a very long time, right? Oh, jeez. Okay. You're calling it epic. That epic colonialism. They are certainly taking the name of it and replacing either epic or fury and or both. Yeah, I've seen it already today. All right. So let me just say this. We'll just switch gears. So I heard a little bit of some of the mess, I guess you can say, going on. And I was thinking, you know what? I want to talk about this over on Run Tell That too. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I'll go over on Run Tell That too. But if anyone recalls, this would have been maybe late 2024 when JR and I'll just say the two women, who were, I'm going to say it like this, vying for his attention. Before I go any further, does anyone remember that I talked about it briefly, like on a night talk? Let me go down. Let's see. Just give me a thumbs up if you remember. You remember, Juju. Yes. This was at the very beginning. And I'd have to pull my video, but I think I said something like, what is this Joanna saying? JR is still endorsing her? Okay. It was kind of like, let's see how long this is going to last. And that if women are, fighting over a guy, and it's public and everyone knows about it. And there were many videos at that time, if you recall. And I think, I would imagine they're no longer available. Okay. But I said, this, he doesn't know what he's getting into. Or does he? And I said some other things, but I just wanted to point that out. Maybe we can. Hey, come on. That's how I think I even said it just like that. These women having a cat fight over this is a virtual, right? Wasn't this like a virtual relationship online? Like serious? Yeah. You can email me at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. Well, I guess it's really captured the attention of a number of people. I wasn't following it at all. What? Only one, no more. Who's going to be the winner in this? Joanne says, I remember he was writing AI songs. Okay, I'm going to put something up. Not here. I think I'll post it. All right. I'll post. I have one. It's like a screenshot. Maybe we could say it was happier times. Gee, I certainly don't want to post it because I don't want anyone striking my video. Don't go striking my video. Love says, and no one has seen him in person. You don't remember? As a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking back, And some of you might help me. I know Juju probably remembers, and maybe some others. Their pictures, remember King World, right? Y'all remember that? And then his channel got taken down. King World. But they showed their picture. They went on their channel night and day and showed their picture. And I think, it seemed like the feedback from women is, they were handsome young men. Yeah. But it was that situation that led to this, you can say, unmasking, self revealing, however you want to call it, right? But who's going to be the winner in all of this? And now another person who derailed that. Was that a setup? Did someone take someone down through the oldest, one of the oldest, it is the oldest trick in the book. The weakness, a man's weakness, or was it something different? Who was the who pursued whom? I'm trying to be careful, guys. Let's see. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. All right. So I'll have the post up in probably the next, 5-10 minutes. I'll put it up. Okay. And you can leave your comments below. And let's see what I will ask. I'll just say happier times. You think it was all for content? The chase is real. Yeah. I mean, remember, you're not coming after my man. That's my man. Oh, that's all I'll say. Like there was a duel going on between the women. I mean, a battle. Yeah. So, I mean, it was serious. So, who was the winner? Does anyone know? So when I put up the little picture, you can just leave your comments, please. Be respectful, and they make little cartoonish, right? That's what they do over there. Joy said they've yet to actually meet each other. Is that really true? I mean, the meeting. That much passion. Well, some people develop, online relationships, online dating, and people have, met that way and they're in love before they meet, really meet. Yeah. And some go on to get married, right? Who's the winner? Love says he was the winner. All right. Well, we'll see. Where does it stand? Again, I'm just kind of hearing about it. I'm not following it at all, really. But I thought, okay. I did make a comment on it a couple of years ago, and it's back. It's back. They both catfished each other. Joanne seems to think. Okay. All right. And who is the other lucky fellow or unlucky? Juju says, I just found out yesterday. Well, I didn't watch it in real time, but Cups created, or she went live, I think. And anyway, I watched some of her video today. I did. And I listened to it, I guess I could say, because I was out when I listened to it. And she talked about it along with some other things. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. It is. So the other lucky fellow, A for or R for Revenger. Okay. And both from the same area. Okay. How'd that work? Yeah. It's kind of funny though, really. Joanne says she didn't know he had a disability. I remember her saying, my walk's just fine. Do you remember that? I do remember that. In other words, I do remember that. Is that what Trees put up? Is that where she got the... Okay. All right. That was supposed to be him. Okay. Wow. Well, I don't make any, that's serious, right? Let's see. At first, I thought they were saying it was a moderator. You mean this supposedly new person, or was a person? And the push-ups. Okay. See, this is what you really want to talk about. What's this? Yes, the name sounded like that. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and wrap things up. I appreciate all of you who joined me for tonight. And whether you learned something or not, I hope you did. Yeah. Okay. I just appreciate you stopping by. And thanks again to my moderators. Biggest bear hugs go out to each of the Grizzlies and the Honey Bears. Please hit the like on your way out and join me sometime tomorrow, most likely on Run Tell That Too. Take a look at the community wall tonight. Just something for you to, maybe a little laugh. Check out, yes, the community wall for updates and changes in my schedule. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you, Fiva says good night. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Good night. Oops. There we go. I wanted something like that.